China took subtle digs at the United States and positioned itself as a defender of the multilateral order on Tuesday, May 13th, aiming to strengthen ties with Latin American and Caribbean leaders at a summit in Beijing. President Xi Jinping promised billions in development loans and greater cooperation at the China CELAC Forum. He said bullying and hegemony will only lead to self-isolation. Latin America has become a key area in U.S. President Donald Trump's rivalry with China, with Washington pressuring the region to pick a side. Two-thirds of Latin American countries have joined China's Belt and Road Initiative, and China is now the top trading partner for Brazil, Peru, Chile, and others. A day after Washington and Beijing agreed to cut tariffs for 90 days, easing their ongoing trade war, Xi presented Beijing as a champion of peace and stability. He said, "There are no winners in tariff wars or trade wars," adding that only unity and cooperation can maintain global peace and promote prosperity. Xi pledged $9.2 billion in loans for development and announced plans to boost cooperation on infrastructure, clean energy, counter-terrorism, and fighting transnational crime. Scholarships and training programs would also be expanded. Under an agreement announced in Geneva, the United States will reduce tariffs on Chinese goods to 30%, while China will cut its tariffs to 10%. This marked a major step back from the trade conflict that had shaken global markets. However, a 20% tariff on certain Chinese chemical exports linked to fentanyl remains, as the United States seeks to address the opioid crisis. China's foreign ministry demanded the United States stop blaming China for the opioid problem. Also, without naming the United States, China's top diplomat Wang Yi voiced Beijing's frustration, condemning a major power obsessed with might makes right. He urged Latin American countries to join China in defending their rights against what he called U.S. tariff bullying. Wang called the forum a great success, highlighting the market of 2 billion people between China and Latin America as a new growth engine. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, visiting Beijing for 5 days, said Latin America does not want to repeat history by starting a new Cold War. He emphasized the region's goal to support the multilateral order and gain proper representation. In talks with Lula, Xi said China and Brazil should strengthen cooperation and oppose unilateralism. They jointly welcomed Russian President Vladimir Putin's call for peace talks with Ukraine, stating direct dialogue is the only way to end the conflict. Colombian President Gustavo Petro, also at the forum, called for dialogue between civilizations that respects the region's interests. He plans to sign an agreement to join the BRI during his visit. Chilean President Gabriel Boric said his country would make a leap forward in economic relations with China.